andar sozinho neste céu que se fechou. Nesta casa não tem porta nem morada, as janelas são fechadas, guardam tudo o que restou. Só quero encontrar o meu destino, sem saber bem o caminho de quem por aqui passou. Alvorada que chegou, alvorada que mudou, alvorada que chegou, alvorada que ficou.
Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, one and all. Welcome to the Reyna's tournament. I, Mad Dante, joined by the ever lovely Bigfoot. It's been a while since me and Bigfoot have worked together. I'm really excited. Bigfoot, what are we in today, man? Give a little bit about yourself, and we'll just get right into this.
Hello, everybody. I'm Bigfoot. I'm from Newcastle. This is the Reyna's tournament, run by a beautiful lad called Ollie. We've just started to hook up to it tonight, so you might see more of us as time goes by. But this is our first cast tonight, so we don't actually know too much about these teams entering into this event. Just a little bit of info we've had here and there. This is the losers bracket, so people are fighting for to stay in the tournament right now. It's a 32 team double elimination altogether. Been some pretty good support so far. Some of these teams have had some really good supporters in the chat, etc. I see people lining up in the chat. Hello, chat. Welcome to the stream tonight. And hopefully it'll be a pretty good tournament. We've seen some good clips leading into this, and moving forward, I expect it to be a good night.
I expect some beautiful clips. But you know what? Speaking of that 32 double elimination, let's get into the bracket just so you can see where everyone's came from, where everyone is going. Twisted Saints and V2X obviously kind of coming in. We're now at the last kind of round into it. So hopefully that bracket should just be coming up in a second for everyone to kind of see, understand the journeys that have gathered us to it. And here we go. So we do see there basically going right through at the start. It was pretty quick. The V2X kind of then fell into the losers quickly then with Saints, but they did manage to basically 2-0 their way right up to now what is the kind of lower bracket close to the finals, I believe, and V2X the little bit more the underdog kind of side to them. TSE getting a bit more love for them. For anyone that has joined myself and Bigfoot as well to an extent that has done some cast with us before, you know I'm a sucker for an underdog. You know, as soon as any team that doesn't get quite the love that maybe they should deserve, I will be in their corner. And then the minute they start winning, I will immediately betray them and jump back to supporting the other team because that is the way we get the most exciting times, the most
Classic.
exciting clips, and the most exciting hype. So I'm really excited to see how this bracket shapes up.
Classic behavior from Mad Dante, of course. But yeah, there will be an underdog, and the script might flip halfway through. But both teams are trying to face off Team Prolific in the next round, so it will be a hard and important game for either of them. As Twisted Saints are also direct rivals with Team Prolific, so they will be doing their best to get through and face down their rivals. Um, and yeah, I mean, we don't really know who the underdog is just yet. We've all we know so far is the clips we've been watching, and unfortunately, I think some of these players have actually been the ones being killed in the clips. So hopefully they'll be able to get some of their own clips tonight to add to this introduction reel, because the level of gameplay in this introduction reel we've been watching, these clips. I mean, we had a double Marshall kill followed up by a triple classic kill for an ace in the space of about 10 seconds. That was insane.
I mean, I'm a sucker for both the Marshall and the Classic. Watching a back-to-back 5K on that's absolutely brilliant. So we are getting the map vetoes basically ready to go. That should be happening by all means. So we should be jumping just into the map veto there in just a second to see exactly what is going on with that. Very exciting times moving on. Here we go. So at the moment, yep, V2X, Twisted Saints, both everyone getting decided. It's been a very it's been a little bit of a kind of what's the term I'm looking for, I guess. A bit of a hazy map pool for some teams and some players specifically. The
Yeah.
map pool is pretty divisive. That's the word I was looking for, divisive. Which does mean that the players are either incredibly comfortable, they're either not, or the third pick, which is the teams are adaptive. And it's really interesting to see is it sink or swim? Because I think both V2X and Twisted really do want to put their opponents kind of on edge, give them something that's a little bit more uncomfortable. And I would say, other than really Ascent and Bind, every map here has very, has potential to be very upsetty and very swingy.
First two picks do come in, Lotus and Sunset. After Breeze and Ascent get banned, I'm glad to see Breeze chucked in the dustbin. Ascent, I'm happy either way, whether it gets played or not. Lotus, interesting map to start with. It used to be a lot more attacker side when it first came out, but I think the meta is sort of settled, and it kind of just depends on your team comp and how you run the tactics. I think it's quite an even map now. Sunset is still chaos, I think. What do you think? Do you think people have started settling the Sunset yet? From the games I've seen recently, Sunset is still chaos.
I see. That's the I don't know. Chaos Sunset is the most. We're 111. We have a chance. Is that's the kind of thing. If you're losing 1-11, like the comeback potential. I don't know what it is about Sunset, and it's exactly what it is. pardon the pun, it has eclipsed any other map in terms of a level of just that level of divisiveness, which again I think is where this setup does come. But here we go, Lotus, Sunset, and the decider, the one true king other than Ascent, Bind, a very confident map for map 3. So if Lotus and Sunset do go one each, then Bind is very much back to your fundamentals. Do you understand how to attack? Do you understand how to defend on, other than Ascent, I believe the least edited map since release, and of course, part of the map pool since beta. So I think it just purely comes down to the fundamentals, and we do even see the attack and defense side there all split up and ready to go. I'm excited.
Yeah, and Bind's also statistically the most rounds played, so like the most even map out of all of them, most overtimes, etc. In my favorite map out of these three, so I'm looking forward to hopefully getting forward to 3 games. But both these teams will be looking to seal the deal in 2 rounds.
No, you don't want to go in too Bind, particularly because it is again such fundamentals. And again, Bind can be really interesting because again, best of 3 is not too endurance heavy, but you know, if you do, particularly if both of these games do end up going, again, we've talked about the chaos that is Sunset. But yeah, seems like we're just going to jump right in now to the agent select. Seems like both the teams are ready, so we're going to jump right into it. We start on Lotus. We're going to see some, I imagine, pretty solved. I mean, Bigfoot, you were saying here, basically everyone ready to go. Oh, 4 Yorus, we're fine. It's gone. It's
4
gone.
Euros. I mean, that would be a dream. I would love to see that if it was actually possible to pick more than one of the same agent. But TSE, are they flexing? I mean, I've seen teams do this, right, so many times. They've lined up their agents the same, pretending they're going to do a roulette for an official game, and I've never seen anyone actually take it all the way and finish the job. It's just like till the last 10 seconds or so. So if TSE do open up tonight with a quadruple Yoru roulette, I think we'll be in for a bit of an interesting evening.
I mean, that's the level as well. There is quite a confidence to it as well, and it's, again, the level of mind games is so interesting because you can very much point to this and say, I don't know how demoralizing it is, you know, at this level, but even in ranked, you know, oh, you didn't really win. Oh, why? Oh, because we agent rouletted, because we strat rouletted. Ah, no, they're not going for it. It turns out they are taking this just a bit seriously. Who would have thought, ladies and gentlemen?
Someone's going to make my day one day.
One day it will happen. Today is not this day. Oh my days, we've been flashbanged.
We've been
flashbanged by Bigfoot as we do go in. No, an incredibly exciting run up there. We did see the kind of the agent pull there. One thing that I really want to point out is, and I got a lot of flack for this, and I'm really glad that even just to prove me right in hindsight, I'm glad that Gecko's starting to get picked up, because I did say that Gecko's flexibility was going to be something that was going to just be very deadly. The Dizzy, the Mosh Pit, the Thrash, I believe, has just been recently buffed, if I'm not mistaken. And I know Sky's basically fallen off a cliff in terms of her selection, so it's given Gecko a lot more room to play with. The same with, we have seen Cypher is just such a dominant agent in so many of these map pools, because the tripwire being double the length, you've really got to sacrifice proper utility now to try and clear the Cypher trips out, and even then you might not be successful in doing it depending on how the Cypher wants to play it.
Yeah, after Sky's nerf, maybe that's one of her best advantages, is she can clear out Cypher util quite well. But that's not why you want to be picking an agent for that sole reason. You need a little bit more. And of course, Sky's recent nerfs have left her a little bit in the dust. And yeah, Gecko is really, we're starting to see Gecko at really high level gameplay and being absolutely crucial in high level games. So it's nice to see that come out. The ultimate could be great for Goose, great fun, and of course everyone loves a wingman plan.
I honestly do think if there is ever going to be a change to Gecko, if Gecko does suddenly start becoming quite dominant, I'd imagine what we would see is, because for anyone that doesn't know, obviously, the spike, for anyone that doesn't really know anything about Valorant, you get your ultimate points, you get the spike down, that's an extra ult point for you. Gecko's, the wingman planting for Gecko gives him an ult point. And I think that's a very strong aspect, as there's basically no negative to having the wingman get the plant down, as we now start off and go straight into round 1.
Yeah, we saw the Cypher util get set up. So mostly over in market there. Of course, the camera is in the window, which you can see site and market. The main comes out on B side from Snake, so I think we're going to know that something is going to be a 4-5 push. Snake's moving right to the back of sight, taking some extra space, but stopping right at CT.
Yeah, no, I mean, that was just
planted.
really solid. TSE seems pretty confident just to say that we're going to be playing retake on this. It was 3 over on the A side, so now the collapse back onto B is going to be really important. The Reyna's need for space. Reyna's actually just started losing the, oh my days, Reyna's started being at for life. As
One
he is
enemy
falling down,
remaining.
There's absolute chaos, and that's a hell of a fast retake. Thousi trying his best to stop that, but yeah, in a very quick moment, that went from Twisted Saints a dominant attack to V2X, an equally dominant retake as we go 1 up to V2X.
They think we wouldn't fight back? Dead
30
wrong.
HP, 50 HP left in that altogether. It was looking pretty. It looked like from the start they planned to retake. You know, they were playing sort of
Yes.
towards A, and once they got the information, they were like, yeah. They also had the setup was there for the retake.
This goes here.
Oh, what is that?
I've got a question.
This is a nice spot.
TSE above the attackers. Twisted Saints above the attackers, but TSE clan tag on the players.
Oh, that's right. Actually, maybe that has been mixed up, or maybe that was then my bad. Actually, maybe there I've said, yes. Actually, that is on my bad. So V2X are currently on attack. TSE currently on defense. Actually, so we do need to swap that right. So it's TSE actually with a beautiful retake. Now a beautiful defend onto that mid lane with Fix taking out 2 in an incredibly fast fashion. The Fade Eye being so dominant and so powerful, even becoming a bit more prevalent now. Saints trying to get something off of it, or V2X trying to get something off of it. Not going to be able to find anything as now.
Careful.
Does just calm back down, and unfortunately for V2X, I'm trying to make sure that we get that right. Unfortunately for V2X, just looks like they're going to be chilling out in mid until someone saves them, or maybe an errant sheriff shot to bring them back into this.
Yeah, that Prowler is really good, and Sunset's a great map for it because you can throw it on top of the rooftops and stuff. You see like the mid up there. There's a bunch of various rooftops where you can get some sneaky Prowlers in, makes it a little bit harder to shoot down, get some really good info. People are really trying to get
30 seconds left.
SMB's going to take out that Cypher wire, but actually rotating through mid now might be a little bit of a distraction. 2 players to go over on B.
Blinding! Right there.
Of course. Twisted Saints have got the
Flash out!
Last player standing.
Yeah, and
10 seconds left.
TSE really just willing to use this. They want to make sure that they go up pretty comfortable at 2-0. Looks like it's going to happen. The plant is going to try and go down with 3 seconds left. Like money not going to be for them, as Cookie refusing to let V2X get anything on there. And now there we go. The names have kind of swapped back over, so we've got that right. Apologies for that round 1 there. Confusion. Twisted Saints on the defense and V2X on the attack, as we now get into the bonus and the first proper buy round for V2X.
That goes there.
Yeah, I think we've got some pretty good fans.
This goes here.
I don't think
Yes, this should do. Oh, this is a nice spot. That goes there.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. It's always good when
This
teams
goes
have like
here.
actual supporters in the chat as well. So before the stream even started, we have people shouting out TSE. So yeah.
Oh, look at that! Look at the
Nice cam.
Oh my
Love
God.
it. TSE Yuki's been taken down to 5 HP as well. On the
I'll find you.
Early is really good for them.
Bring them
I
down.
really love that for the Omen as well. Make sure to back him up on that as well. That was so crucial.
Planted the spike.
We'll be damaged by that grenade down there. 12 HP.
Bomb buddy out.
Just line up with that grenade. Yuki only on 5 HP.
Still in sight.
Plastic! Hero gets one. Zek trades out. Basil gets one. And Zek trades out again. Zek still standing. Trading here.
And now we see the complete dominance that was and still can
Last
be an
player
Astra on the
standing.
post-plant
One
situation
enemy
as
remaining.
It just goes down to Jimmy as he does actually get the shot on the Coathawk. It is
Get
half
off my
it is
back.
half tag, so he could have just stopped. We expected the swing from SNB, it doesn't happen, and now I don't think there's enough time even unless Dubious has to really get this hell of a shot on here. He just has to stick it. He does try SNB with the confidence to re-swing there. And again, the complete fear, understandably, do you stick it, do you not in that circumstance? The Astra Star not down, but yeah, SNB just with the enough pressure on their own without the Astra Stars even necessary that stopped Twisted getting that defuse. So putting the first round on the board for them, and it's an important one, to say the least.
Those mind games can get really, really hard, but that could have been a stick. It could have been 3 rounds like the Twisted Saints, but of course, against the Astra, I think it was when that star came down, it just sent a little bit of confusion, but sticking it might have just pulled out. Talzon over on B side by themselves right now, so maybe going to try and do a little bit of fake util or just maybe information gathering, but now backing off, it does look like it will be an A push. At the minute, we got Yuki and Zek over there holding down a lobby. There should be getting some info any second now. Is it going to be an operator? Did not see that in the back, actually. So that is going to be very awkward here for V2X to make their way past. Yuki just backs up a little bit. There is also a showstopper in hand.
Really like the Prowler just to kind of just to take Yuki off of that board there, but to take Yuki off of that post as Chinuru trying to just claim some space. The jump peak is there, solid jump peak as well. Likely wasn't going to be able to react fast enough even from Yuki there. Even the fastest in the West would not have been able to pull off that shot in time. The camera from Fix and Sunset as well, something we didn't mention. The level of play, well actually, you did mention it, Bigfoot, earlier, the level of the lineups and things that you can do with Cypher, both for the tripwire, but the camera can be in some really, really evil positions. The palm tree on the left here, if Snice has a look on it, you won't see it just because of Cookie's smoke, but the breach actually coming through with the old Snice with incredible aim, incredible performance under pressure there, does not panic and takes out the Zyper through the smoke entirely. A beautiful shot as now post-plant situation, 65 HP, and Twisted really have to try and get this retake going well for them if they want to try and get another shot at this.
Yeah, such a lucky and such a crucial kill, and there goes another as Zek falls, so Sight is pretty comfortable, but we do have Yuki coming out with a showstopper. We're going to do it kind of blind, and that is a point-blank operator shot for Jibui. The nades coming out into lobby, and it is all on Jibui with the operator. Maybe going to run away, but unfortunately running away into SMB, who managed to lurk round to market, and it'll be 2-2, V2X equalizing the scoreboard.
I really do appreciate it. I really respect the attempt to run away with the ult from Jibui. I really do. It was a really smart decision just to realize that that's not coming out. I want to go back. That quick scope was filthy. That was a filthy quick scope. That was beautiful. I'm so happy that we got to see that because that was absolutely dominating. Even if it wasn't enough to take the round, it was absolutely enough to take the mental away and put it back onto your side as now the ultimate's starting to come online. We did mention the Thrash earlier, the Astro Wall, the Cosmic Divide, such an incredibly strong ultimate, and then finally the blatant wall hacks come online as well for Twisted Saints. So they've got quite a bit to work with at the moment. Even if they don't have the guns to work with, there's enough utility here that they could easily try and make something happen with this.
Yeah, it's a pretty sturdy push towards A as well. There is, of course, 3 players, but now there's there was 3 players, now there's 1, and now there's none, as they just get obliterated by the push from V2X, and it's looking a little bit too easy for V2X, but of course, Twisted Saints not really spending much money this round, very basic weaponry, and the best they can hope for is getting 1 kill, but it might not even be able to get that. Stinger? Could get something with a Stinger here, possibly, maybe. But there is also a tripwire holding them back. I'm not sure if they bounced over it or shot it down there as we change view, but yeah, I think it's been shot down. So actually, Jibui does get taken out. Yuki does get 1 with a Stinger, though.
Yuki really tried it. Jiniru ending it with the jumping right click there to stop it. And again, this is the thing, and what Cypher has done is Killjoy used to be pretty solid and pretty sturdy at protecting the flank. And I think a lot of people, myself actually included, I didn't think so for anyone that doesn't know, Killjoy's turret's been recently nerfed, so it used to have 180 degrees kind of sightline. I believe that's been lowered down to, I think it's 45 degrees now. So what that does mean is the turret doesn't actually cover near as much as it used to. And so because of that, Killjoy has actually fallen off quite a little bit, again, in replacement for the Cypher. We're watching Fix just, how do you really play around those trips unless you do sacrifice the paint shells, unless you do sacrifice one of the strongest bits of util clear from either side from the raises. You do have to basically give that up just for a chance at removing the tripwires. And if the tripwires aren't there, then you've given up again, as I said, one of the strongest pieces of utility just for sight clear.
God, if it was 45 degrees, I don't think anyone would be picking Killjoy. It's down to 100, so it's lost
Down
like
100,
40,
alright.
it's lost 40 on either side, if that makes sense. It's lost 40 from the left
Right,
and 40
that's what
from
it
the
was.
right.
My bad.
But yeah, no, it's okay, mate. I mean, you'd be nerfed to the absolute depths of hell if it was 45. And Snace there, really good showstopper. Snace getting a lot of the showstoppers. So far, Yuki's only sent one out blind and didn't manage to get a kill off it. So Snace is currently looking like the slightly more dominant Raze moving forward. Of course, Raze being on the attack side is more where it's at, but there has been some retakes from Twisted Saints. Cookie does get a good kill on the Coatahawk in mid, but there's still only 2 players standing now for Twisted Saints. It's going to be a very, very difficult retake against the Astral Divide, and it looks like they're just going to go hot their bottoms on A site and save these rifles. Maybe even going for exits here. There's potential. We do have Cookie making a rotation. Fruit of Spawn, though. Don't know if anyone's going to be there for an exit kill. No one really comes this far away from B site, although having said that, they're nearly that far. They just went through mid.
Everyone's just cozied up on tiles. They're ready to go from V2X. It doesn't look like they're going to push, and that it's very smart. On the one hand, that you can think, oh, we need to stop Twisted from keeping the guns. That is 2 guns, obviously, now that they do have that they maybe otherwise won't. But at the same time, it's the risk reward. What do you sacrifice there? And here we go now. Fix jumping over actually to the A site. For a lot of people, I mean, again, the chaos of Sunset is B is such a difficult site to take whenever you know the Cypher's going to be there. But if Fix plays this quite smartly, quite intelligently, he may be able to counter the fact, we do see a full stack from V2X basically running into A site, and they're not going to be expecting the Cypher trips. It seems like they're going to walk around the Cypher util basically entirely, so actually not too much value from Twisted, but basically able to dodge the Nightfall for free. Actually massive now, as that's the only ultimate for V2X. They've comfortably got on the site, but can they comfortably hold on to it, particularly with the ults that Twisted have available to them?
Yeah, I mean, Fix did have a really good setup there, but V2X have actually pushed through all. Maybe expect them to go a different way.
One enemy remaining.
Coatahawk's going to get frozen there by Fran. I don't think the kill's going to come through. Zek going to be distracted by SMB, who will headshot them down, and another round on the board for V2X.
The NB in SNB stands for no bother, as in no bother getting that round win. Was that awful? Was that really bad? Should I say?
It doesn't seem to be too much sweat for V2X so far.
This is a nice spot.
The first 2 rounds didn't go their way, but since their bye round, they've been pretty comfortable.
No, they absolutely are as well. And I think it is a lot of it. Again, the utility's just been very solid. I mean, let's go. Like, the Nightfall didn't get anyone from Twisted Saints, but the reason it didn't get anyone from Twisted Saints was they had to give up the A site for free. And as you mentioned, Bigfoot, just going around elbow for. Oh! I can't even finish that point. Yuki speed running us through this round and is dead.
But the strap back is coming out. That was a really good combo from Jaburi there, alongside Yuki's satchel to get the push. Really good early pick. Not quite as effective when it gets traded out, of course. So bringing it down to a 4v4. It does make it a little bit hard to get on a site where there is only 4 of you, but of course, you want to keep that extra player on the defensive side. So the trade was really, really crucial for V2X moving forward. Are they just going to go through Hall? Yeah. It seems like there needs to be a counter strat for this Hall, because so far we've seen nothing. I'd like to see 2 trips in here. I'd like to see maybe 1 or 2 more players playing in Hall or something. It seems to be a consistent strat.
No, they do seem, and they seem to have they've noticed that themselves. They've acknowledged it, and they've absolutely just taken the space for free that they need to. Again, the retake from Twisted Saints not quite there, but we are sitting there, on again the Rolling Thunder. We've got the From the Shadows, which isn't going to do too much, but the wall hacks, the X-ray vision from the neural hack. If Cypher can get off of it, here we go. The aftershocks now, or the Rolling Thunder's now trading off each other. TSE not clearing the corner. Nice is going to take him out because of it, but all of a sudden everyone's at kind of a standstill. These Cypher trips are really good. Doesn't matter when Fixes flicks. No one clears Coatahawk. Doesn't matter though. Oh, just a little bit too fast on the shots there, and because of it, Exec with a beautiful 180 and executing the 3rd round for Twisted Saints as we move on now to round number 9. That was very close to anyone's round multiple times over.
Yes,
One thing
this
I've started to notice recently is sometimes teams switch up their strat when the round doesn't go their way, but they don't switch up their strat based on what didn't go their way. So, for example,
goes
they've been
there.
pushing down Hall, and they lost that round. And I've seen recently some teams would switch up their entire strat.
This
for that,
goes
but it's
here.
actually the post
Oh,
round
this
that needs
is a
to
nice-
switch
that
up
goes
in that
there.
round. They can still keep pushing down Hall.
Yes,
There's
this
still,
should do.
there's still nothing in Hall.
Obscuring vision.
Seems like maybe they are trying to. Oh my day! Seems like
Yuki, another one.
seems like they are trying to counter that by just taking the just running down, just running it down from A mid. They've realised that if there's a whole push, it's going to be pretty, pretty fast, and if not, then it's all going to be a fast commit. Cookie with a blind fire through the smoke on the SMB, absolutely disgusting. Probably just going to be enough to shut down this push from V2X, as now Twisted Saints trying to get 2 rounds pretty back-to-back on each other here to try and really start holding on to something. Chinneru just barely escaping with the health bar there. The spike still all the way back though in B shop. It doesn't look like they're going to really have any type of ability to get this push through. There's a hot, it's massive. Yuki has been fed. Oh, Cookie. Oh, don't let that get to you. Just absolutely, just shake it off. It happens. Sometimes we miss immobile targets. It happens. We move on. We teleport away. We forget it ever happened. Oh, that's heartbreaking. Oh no.
Flicks again early in that round, but of course with
30 seconds left.
Cypher playing site so far forward, you do actually lose that util quite quickly. It is sometimes nice to see other players play off the back of your util while you hold back site, but yeah, Flicks with the flicks was looking good. They've moved straight back over to Hall now. V2X trying to do their best.
We're gonna do it again. You can't stop us.
And they've got Zek on
Here.
the flag
10 seconds left.
as well as it looks like, yeah, they're going to be coming through mid. So they're
Spike
gonna be picked
planted.
From 2 different sides. I wonder if Zex are going to go through Hall or not. I think Hall would be a really, really good place for Zex to push. There's going to be a blind here.
Look at
One
all the
enemy
util that
remaining.
TSE have to work with. Exeg's got the mosh that we've seen. Cookie has, well, nothing anymore because he's dead. Chenru's got absolutely nothing. Jiju's got all the flashes, but that was actually Chinneru. Had they got they had the timing on the Jibius, they just didn't, or Jibui, sorry, but they just didn't think they did. They were looking away.
Team
Jibui
Ace.
had the flash out and ready. All that needed to happen there was the swing onto Jibui, and all of a sudden, Exeg was the only person left. That was suddenly very close based on all that utility, but sadly for them, still gonna come out for the defense side.
I see a ping in Hall, mate.
It goes
I don't
here.
know what's happening again.
That goes
No
there.
running in the hall unless you're V2X, and then it's all running in the hall at all times.
Oh,
Think
this
maybe
is a
the
nice spot.
conditioning.
Ah,
Now they can-
force
now they
them,
can fake
force
Hall, now
them.
they can fake Hall
Yes,
all they want,
this should
but,
do.
They wouldn't
Obviously-
run hall again.
well, obviously we haven't got the comp, so I'm not sure exactly what that thing was, because looking at the map, it doesn't look like it is a whole push. It looks like they're going to actually be heading down mid right now. 2 players in market, 3 in A, 2 in A. No information in A lobby so far, so the rotation actually with a sound in mid will come through that way. Spike's actually down on B area, protected by a tripwire and a camera.
Timing.
Camera.
Ooh.
Where is everyone hiding?
I was gonna say we weren't getting much use out of the neural theft really at the moment, but it's nice to see coming out. Like Fix has had this for, I want to say Fix is running on that neural theft now for maybe like 5 rounds back to back or something there. Did Thousel use? Thousel did use the aftershock there. That was a bit strange. That was a hell of a fast swap after using that. Really good. And there's the haunt. There's what we were saying. Look at that type of angle you can see. The snatch does immediately come out though as well though. So now there's a little bit less utility from the fade side. And V2X doesn't matter whenever your fade can just blow the head off of Sec like that. You do not need utility when you have bullets, as now again post plant scenario and nightfall. Oh,
Give me a
Gets
corpse.
another fix, gets
Where
one.
is
All headshots as they
everyone
go
hiding?
back
Oh,
onto site. Neural theft does finally come out. They see Hawk's location. Fix will try and get that.
One enemy remaining.
Oh! Kill on the foul hole. But meanwhile, Hawk gets taken down by Cookie on the other angle, and Jibui's going to get the defuse.
absolutely beautiful use of the utility there from everyone. The paranoia to get the that refrag, the initial flash from Jibui on that A, kind of the back site there, to basically hit 2, and then the immediate paranoia to swing onto V2X onto the Astra, to drop that down as well. Hawk trying to practice some of the aim training, getting that aim drills down. Not that he's needed it, because Kodahawk's shooting's been on
this is a
point
nice
so
spot.
far.
Yeah,
That goes there.
just see if we can get some stats in as well, because I'm starting to lose count on what kills people have got.
Satchel out.
There's been some, I think there has been a couple of dominant players, like you're saying. Kodahawk shots looking really good. Yuki has been amazing on pushing into sight. Sorry, sorry, it's the opponent phrase. So I'm talking about Snaze has been amazing for pushing onto sight. Yuki's been doing pretty good. I look forward to seeing him on the attacking side, of course. Geniro has had really good util for making these pushes. Excellent initiative behavior there. Right now in mid, there's a lot of space taken. And if they just keep pushing a little bit further forward, they're going to be having linked themselves. There is a player on either side. We do have Fix and Exec there.
Again, it's just this level, and this is the type of chaos again we were seeing. The level of just ways that you can change. You just walk up mid. Fix is just sitting there in the Astra Star, completely starstruck as Cookie immediately trying to find SNB. But Snice, this is what we're talking about. That walk up through mid, in through Boba. Fix, again, he's got the flicks, but he's lost the entire control of the site. But Yuki, with a beautiful hide. Snice is now trying to have to bring it, but it's the Reyes off. This could not be anymore. And you were talking about the showstoppers. Speaking of the showstoppers, oh! Oh!
Wow.
As Nice steals the
round
show
in
with
the
that
half.
showstopper. A beautiful rocket. Really, really solid attempt from Yuki there to try and just flick away from that. You've really only got two options, and that is you believe in your gun and your ability to shoot, or you believe in your ability to schmoove. And there was faith that schmoovement would win the day. Unfortunately, it was not the case, as Snice brings V2X to 6-5.
This goes here.
So yeah, it's Yuki on 10, Snaze actually on 10, so they've actually been doing a pretty equal job.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see when these roles reverse, and we've been told that there's been a little bit of beef previously between TSE and Team Prolific, but now I'm starting to see a bit of raised beef back and forward between Snaze and Yuki, and it's actually
There, take them!
Moving very far onto site again. They can hold the space, but it is going to look like a retake scenario yet again for Twisted Saints. No need to rush on the site just yet. They do actually get one kill fixed there. The market looking really good. Oh my days.
Spike planted.
With the head peek. Take down Snake. Moving forward now, especially as SMB gets
Last player standing.
Oh no. As Cookie now rushes through, very much living up to his name as V2X crumble in front of him. Kodahawk trying to get one, will at least find it, but that reload sound as Yuki follows through. 6-6. So I was saying, I've been completely proven wrong this year. I said
Switching
Sunset is your
sides.
standard 111 type of map, which is usually what we do see, or at the very least it is quite a divisive for one way. But V2X and Twisted are showing us that this is how you make Sunset even. As we do look at that scoreline, I mean, we were looking at it, I mean, everyone here is doing pretty phenomenal. To be honest, there's a couple of negative kill like score feeds, of course. There's a couple of negative like kill deaths, but even then, the utility from every single person here has been, I'd say, pretty on point. We haven't had any, you know, large misses, even with the showstoppers. I know we did have Yuki fire in. I don't think it hit anyone. It ended up being Snice, just being a bit more predominant with the showstoppers. But even then, most of the utility, I think the Neural Theft has actually been the lowest performing utility used so far in this match from both sides.
yeah, another whole run coming through. Yuki taken down extremely low, of course. Stay down. Not gonna get too much of the basket. There's one more. Oh my god! One more headshot that landed, but no, this guy's stepping.
Last player standing.
Pistol round. I was distracted with my microphone there, and it's been very, very simple for the V2X defending. And this is exactly where you want to start a new round, especially as their 4-5 round streak did get halted by Twisted Saints a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I mean, what else can you really expect from them? That was a hell. I do like the anything you can do, we can do better. If you're going to run in the halls, we're going to run in the halls. But V2X then immediately going, by all means you can. You're running into a death trap, and we will collapse onto you immediately and show you why these halls are very much ours. As an incredible dominant showing for the first pistol round now comes through, as everything now slowed down pretty substantially. Standard layouts. Standard positionings held, standard everything. as 5 members of Twisted Saints look ready to push through that smoke, and here we go. Oh! Heck with that nade though. Those shells. A Snice now trying to find something. Hawk trying to get one. The spray from Snice. It's close. It's not enough.
One enemy remaining.
Not enough. As Fix finds Hawk as well. What a push up through mid that ended up being. Thousel stuck in spawn, scared, not sure what's happening quite around him, as I'm pretty sure he's about to be found. The smokes are only going to last another minute or so as Sek has the information, gets the headshot on. Thousel now trying to find anything that can be done.
Ready.
It seems as if Saints are now just happy to sit and wait.
Yeah, what a save round for them. You know, getting those early kills and picking up those guns just snowballed into getting the spike down so comfortably. And yes, they might have 3 players on half health, but they've picked up guns. They've even got a Guardian here.
Thrifty.
Oh wow, does get 2, but Fix with a stinger gonna take a sidestep and knock Thousel out. And it's looking really good here. So shutting down that anti-eco from the eco perspective is going to be a really comfortable position moving into the 3rd round of this half. They're going to put 3 Vandals on the board, 1 Guardian and 1 Spectre. And of course now it's V2X's turn to save, so they're probably going to lose this round too.
I mean, yeah, that was, again, and this is, the chaos of Sunset is so predominant there, and we see immediately V2X going, okay, there's a tripwire on mid, we've realized our mistake, there's a tripwire on mid now, because what Twisted Saints did was just be confident enough to say that, yeah, you're not going to expect this, you're not going to be ready for this push. Sek with a beautiful shot as well onto the defend, I think it was on the, who was it? The Sek shot through the smoke was a gorgeous shot. The complete awareness for them to know that push was coming through to keep that angle held, as now we have seen everything slow down. Cookie aware of that tripwire getting pinged out, but that can be jumped over, and I don't think, okay, shot instead, not going to be jumped over. I think maybe expecting someone to be playing off the tripwire. Instead it's Fix who's playing off the tripwire, and Chiniru has just learned why they are so deadly, even if they're not triggered.
Satchel out. There.
Just ends again, very empty, very quiet. Not V2X not able to do much, you know,
Spike planted.
with the guns that they have. They can't really hold on. Even the utility a little bit more lacking from them, as now the flank's going to come through. It comes down to Sek find this out. Thousel with a beautiful shot. Sek does find both Snice and SNB on that flank though, so it's not going to be enough for them as of now. It's just Hawk. It's just Thousel swinging in. Gets the... He was ready with the pre-fire. It just wasn't ready for Fix to be crouching instead, as now Hawk, it's a classic, it's 100 HP, it's a dream that few people would dare to dream, as likely what's looking to happen is Hawk simply gonna have to walk into that spike, gonna have to walk into the encroaching darkness, even though they do pick up the Guardian instead. They drop their lives as Twisted Saints now up 8-7.
It was good to see Twisted Saints there as well. You know, they had the gun advantage, easy advantage moving into that round, but they played it safe, and it paid off for them. You know, they've managed to take lots of guns into the next round, just taking Jabu with a Spectre here, but their economy is building up very, very comfortably. 1 round ahead now, but many thousands of credits ahead. So should this round not go their way, they will be extremely comfortable in the next to get guns back on the board. V2X Gaming, not 100% comfortable. They've got a half shield and a Guardian, but overall that is going to be enough to win this out. If they can just get a pick on the way into sight. Twisted Saints are looking really, really comfortable as they move into this attack inside so far, getting that initial save and getting that second round on the back of that 3rd round, but second for them. And talking about V2X getting picks on the way on the side, they do get 2, so it is going to be pretty comfortable for them. The spikes actually ran away a little bit. Hawk gets the 3rd for the round, and with just Exec standing alongside Fix, it's going to be really tricky for them moving forward. Fix does get 1 in Link though. Going to move around to A from here, because no one's over on A. There hasn't been any anchoring.
Where is everyone hiding?
Oh, and here we go. We were there hasn't been any anchor as well. It was a very quick read there from V2X to kind of collapse onto it. Twisted though, I mean, you did sacrifice 3 of your players to only just get the plant down now. This is going to be pretty vital to them. The information now coming through though, V2X now going to be collapsing onto this A set. I do want to point out very quickly, the Thrash clearing out the Cypher trip for Chiniru to push, for Chiniru to then get the kills. It did mean that you could just walk through the tripwire as it can catch 2 people. Speaking of being caught though, Fix going down to Snice, it's just sick. And it's not enough as Kotahawk finding that pick. And I think, I don't really know how to word it in a polite way, but if you're Twisted Saints there, putting 3 people in the B site, watching them essentially just get mulched, and then, you know, for only 1 pick, how do you really come back from that unless you do some incredible nonsense?
Well, they do have the guns, so hopefully they play their cool again. I mean, they did go from 1 round playing with a gun advantage, playing very carefully, to 1 round with equal guns playing not so carefully. So that was an interesting slip up there moving forward. But now they've got the guns back on the board. Hopefully we'll see them take a little bit more care in this next round.
As we do see, I mean, they have been really pushing each other again. 8-8, it's been very back and forth. We're seeing, looks like, yeah, Satchel's coming through. Yuki already there. Are we going to be seeing more running in the hall? Stousel, though, look at that, actually ready with the, no! Stousel, you had it. Do the flash. Do the flash. Oh, you were so close to perfection.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda when you got the info we've got.
Yeah, true, I guess. But he was very close to it. Decide, though, I mean, obviously, it does mean the flash is still there for them. No agent now. So ever since Sky got nerfed again, just to bring up, no agent has regenerating flash anymore. So any flash that's used, either from Jibwe or from Thousel, is 1 and done, or 2 and done, dependent, as we do see. A lot of utility, though, still available for a lot of players. Not too much has been utilized at all, really. The Cypher trips and stuff are still all up for Kotahawk there, as he is basically, yeah, just keeping control of that B site really, really comfortably. Sec trying to see if there's any tripwires. Yuki now going off of it. The information coming through. Doesn't hit the Cypher cam. May not be able to hit it. No, it doesn't. And Kotahawk is actually able to make amazing use of that information to take out Yuki immediately. The jump peak kind of coming through. Does have the neural theft as well. If he can get the angle, doesn't matter if Cookie's going to be getting a good shot like that, and TP's out as well. He gets away with his life. That's incredible. He steals the cookie from the jar and gets out. Incredible movement as now the Codeland situation with all of this util I just mentioned coming through. The neural theft is Kotahawk just going through. SMB with a beautiful blind fire as well. And Chiniru finishes up. I was quite confused though. The mosh pit from Exeg, I don't even know where that was fired from, but that was close to actually saving TSE. Not going to be enough, unfortunately, but a Hail Mary at least. And I was gonna say, we've not had any yet. Maybe it's time to really start considering killing some momentum, or even just talking about how these rounds are going, how you want to go, how you want to proceed, how you want to. I mean, how you just want to, how you want to proceed. There's nothing else really to it. There's been no major slip-ups. There's been no major mistakes or whiffs or, you know, kind of pushes through it. It's all been such tiny micro adjustments. So I really am interested to see what Twisted Saints would be discussing at this moment in time.
Yeah, they're 2 extremely equal teams. It can definitely be said. So this is anyone's game on Sunset. It's probably going to be a very similar story on the other 2 maps moving forward. Timeout has been called, and it is good to see Twisted Saints only getting 1 round behind, but it's time for them to try and dominate in this attacking side. So they're probably starting to pull out the strap book, make a bit of a plan. No pings on the map just yet. We do see a defensive ping from V2X there talking about a lobby and making sure they've got some defense there, but right now it looks like a couple players moving towards B. It is, of course, Cookie and Fix, and maybe they do a little bit of a fake here. It looks like Fix setup is mostly just for info. Most players are leaning over towards A, but this is where the defensive pings were, so maybe that's been read already.
Maybe it has as well. One thing we haven't been seeing too much like incredibly quick flanks. We've been seeing some flanks, but they've been, you know, kind of mid-round. You know, they've been fairly slow. We haven't seen too many aggressive just pushes from V2X to try and take any type of control, you know, going through. And it looks like that's what Fix had initially played the tripwires to do. To Cookie again, shooting the tripwire just to add a little bit of panic to it. There's 1 less tripwire down. It does open up mid. There's still a minute 10 seconds as well to play with. You can do quite a lot with this, whether it is push through mid market, which looks exactly like what we're doing, whether it is do a full push onto B, maybe rotate round to A. As we do see Cookie as well, just hiding in that backline, just hiding in mid, really trying to see if he can find someone rotating through. See, Yuki not going to be able to hide behind that Cypher cage though, as the spy cam tries to spot him out. Seg, caught by the tripwire, S&B meanwhile picks up Cookie in that backline, and now this does mean for free that the entirety of V2X get to come through and now take this post-plant situation with 3 ultimates for them, TSE on 2. Oh!
It was really important for Chinero to get that kill, but luckily Talzal gets one, but just after Talzal does get completely seized up. Rolling Thunder will help, of course, but there is a player lurking in market as Snace pushes in. Falzal does get a very important kill coming onto side for XX, but like I said, the player in market is fixed with 1 headshot, 2 headshots. Snace trades out, and Jaburi there behind the Amplify going to walk straight onto site, but Snace with the headshot is going to clear it out, bringing V2X up onto 10 just in the nick of time. No, not at all. There's 4.5 seconds is left on the clock and they explode.
Insane lurk from Fix. A really nice 2 shots there. I don't know if that was intentional, but if Fix read that was when the cosmic divide from SNB was going to come down, and he thought, I'm gonna let you use this and then shoot you. If that was the level to which Fix was thinking, I don't know, obviously, as Bigfoot you said, we don't have the comms, we can't know that for certain, but if it was, that's incredibly large brain.
Snace stunned straight away there. Nothing gonna get pushed off the back. Chinero out in mid, getting a good early kill, but Yuki's gonna trade out, make it 4v4 moving forward. Mid could be the place to push, but if they move back to A, there is a couple of players pushed out.
exactly
Snace actually gonna move back, and here comes the neural theft, gonna be very, very useful. Finding out where V2X are on the map, gonna show where the opening is, and it does look like they know that there's only 1 player over on B. Hawk get their trips shot out here as Fix makes a push forward, but of course knife in hand will be taken unaware as Hawk gets 2. Yuki's managed to make their way back to site and trade out. The spike will go down, but there's 3 players standing for V2X on the retake.
Taking that back.
The showstopper as well. We've seen Snice do it. We've seen it doesn't matter when the Yuki's actually up for the 9 HP and 3. Is it going to be enough? Can Yuki pick this up? He does! Yuki domination, showing that yes, I will raise Def comfortably, gets himself on for the ace as well. Does look like a very comfortable way of putting TSE up 10-9. Beautifully well played, beautifully executed. We'd had lost the feed there for a little bit, looks like it is back online. I cannot believe that though. Hawk with a beautiful double kill onto the attack inside. I was a bit surprised from Fix that he just decided to kind of bunny hop his way through with the knife out. Very interesting decision, let's say. But it's not enough as Twisted Saints still on the back of what was a beautiful ace from Yuki. Go up 10-9.
But of course, it's going to be Snace trying to get an ace on the board now, as we see this back and forth between these 2 players. Fixed early headshot on a Chinero. That's very, very nice to see. The smoke will come out, holding down the advanced push, but maybe there's no need for it.
Oh my god, the push!
Oh, 3 players pushed out of A. Shibui running away from spawn. Shibui gonna hopefully be able to stop this, get 1 kill before it's too late, but does look like Talzal, yeah, gonna get a stun. Is it gonna be a counter stun? But no, the nade's gonna take down Shibui, so... Oh, but Yuki over in spawn's gonna trade out Hawk. XX gonna put the spike down with the wingman, be able to defend that. 4 players standing on site. The defenders are not where you'd expect them. They're all in lobby areas, so now they're gonna push through market.
Have you ever seen the scene in Futurama where they're in the robot asylum and there's the robot that yells change places? That's what it looks like the defense and the attackers have done, because all of a sudden now the Fix is trying to defend for his life. Unfortunately loses it to Talzal, as now SMB and Talzal are here, but Yuki and Cookie's both swinging out of the smokes at the exact same time. Yuki playing back in mid really intelligently there to essentially just be the jaws of the bear trap snapping in, and Cookie immediately following up, as now V2X really looking like they're going to be struggling here. The econ, not exactly what you'd want to see here. We are seeing basically full buys and light shields. Thankfully for V2X, not a single outlaw in sight from the side of
Let's make 'em
TSE,
dance.
and not a single one-shot possible, unless, of course, just
Satchel out.
beautiful headshots, which we have seen more than enough of. Here we go.
Get 'em.
No showstopper being popped.
Super early push though. Gonna take that space and hold. Showstopper will come out when it's necessary, but of course, there are no satchels left for that showstopper, which really do catalyze its ability to cause damage and to make it harder to shoot you as well. But with all that space taken, it looks like they might just be backing off a little bit. Maybe taking the other side of A, but this is what we like to see from Twisted Saints. We've seen when they play carefully, they generally secure the round, and when they play a little bit flamboyantly, they've let it slip down a little bit. So if Twisted Saints can just keep their mental together, play carefully, play for the pick, find the openings in the defensive structure, they've got very, very good chances of seeding this game off completely.
A very overkill from Fix. It does go down in one bullet. You don't. That was the tripwire does die in one bullet. And immediately now, though, again, one tripwire down for Kodahawk, hiding actually in the cipher cage there. Really smart Yuki, not going to pre-fire, and Kodahawk is a genius. 3 additional wrinkles just formed on that man's brain, because that was incredibly well played. Yuki now going down because of it, and V2X, this is what you want from them. This is what they need. And look at how they're playing it again. They are still, you know, they are just trying to keep that mid push coming through. Exec has to get this timing. He's going to find it beautifully. Exec with a beautiful double kill onto it. And now the retake looking much better for Twisted Saints. They do have the Thrash as well. There's no Nightfall anymore. SMB has to land. The shot does not, as Fix puts him in the ground. Chiniru trying to hold out here. There's not much that can be done. He taps the spike, the mosh pit comes out, and Chiniru eventually falls as we move on to map point. Disgusting double kill. Disgusting double kill from Exec there. Damn!
Nearly, like, could have been a full ace as well, but of course, it's not always that easy. But Guardians, the Judge, the Spectre, it's last chance for V2X, and maybe a Judge has been what they've been missing. So let's see what Snace does. It looks like Snace is going to be in Hall. I would love to see a double or triple kill here with that Judge pushing forward. Let's have a little watch. Yeah, Snace has pushed up a little bit, not full satchel push though. Here's the footsteps, of course. Oh, Snake's now got the Guardian in the hand. I thought that was a Judge a second ago. Grenade out. Gonna retreat with the satchel. Boombot out, trying to hold them back slowly, but Cookie gets one there. Snake does actually get Cookie out. Fix gets SMB though, with 3 players standing for V2X. Thrashes out as well. Oh no, the peak, and you freeze the minute you get round the corner. Snake goes down too easily.
I didn't think that had been cleared, actually. I thought Snace was safe, but I think just at the last frame second realised what had happened there, and he lived up to his name, executed the 180 on the Thrash, and he picks it back up again, and it's coming for you, Engineer. It's gonna find you. As Kodahawk, though, trying his best. Again, 1 versus 3 does cover the sound. The mic hasn't even been tapped yet. But who's been tapped? Fix has just tapped. As we move on to map 2, TSE 13-9. God damn!
God damn. Yeah, that,
God
you know,
damn!
a lot of that game, it looked like it could have been anyone's, but once TSE really stuck their brains together, it really just fell into place in that latter half. And V2X looked a little bit lost, not really knowing what to do in those last 4 rounds, so they're going to have to come into this next map with a bang, because otherwise they're going to get knocked out of the Reyna's tournament moving forward. I think Twisted Saints, if they just hold themselves together, they've probably got this. It's really good for them, but there was a few rounds where I would say they actually threw. They didn't just get outplayed. They did throw a couple rounds, you know. There was the one where they all just walked on a B site, etc. They could have had that being 1 pick and then a rotation, but it ended up being 3. Situations like that aren't ideal, but that being said, they really managed to put their heads together for the end of that half, and it looked good.
No, they did. They started playing confident. I want to give, I mean, that is a hell of a raise. That was a hell of just a raise showcase, actually. I do want to point out, just from Snay and Yuki, we had, I don't know, maybe it was just from our caster feed. I swear that when Yugi satcheled to try and dodge the showstopper, Snay didn't aim for the ground. I'm pretty sure Snay flicked and hit the showstopper directly onto Yuki for extra style points and for extra toxicity, which I absolutely love. But yeah, a very, very beautiful start to what I hope will be further beautiful games.
And our next map was Lotus, correct?
Lotus, the big
Okay,
one now.
so
Big 3-site map ever since Haven rotated out.
we might see some similar agent picks. Wouldn't be surprised to see Snakes and Yuki back on Rays. Wouldn't be surprised to see Hawk and Fix back on Cypher. Wouldn't be surprised to see Exec on Gecko. SMB maybe even on Astra again. Some people like to use Omen. Some people like to use Viper. There's quite a lot of versatility for your controller choices on Lotus. If Cookie is a true Omen main, might probably stay on Omen. And also Breach is also a viable pick. So the lineups may or may not change moving forward.
Chamber as well, just to give him some love. Chamber actually does get quite a lot of control on the Lotus. But with that, we are going to jump onto the break just for now. Don't go anywhere because I'm sure we have a hell of a lot more sites to show you coming just right up in a moment. So do not go anywhere.
See you soon.
listening to all your music on shuffle mode with the Spotify free experience. Explore how to tune into your favorite playlists and albums in any order and without hearing ad breaks with Spotify Premium.
One and all, welcome back. You're joined by myself, Mad Dante, and I didn't even let you introduce yourself for the opening, so you know what? Take it away, introduce yourself, and welcome us back in.
Oh, it's no worries. You're on the left-hand side. You know, it's the natural start to things. You start on the left when you're reading in English. If we were casting in Arabic, it might be a different story. I might be trying to go first then, but we are actually casting in English, and I don't speak Arabic. So here we are. Welcome back, everybody. This is the Reynas. We've just had a very, very close match until the last 5 rounds when Twisted Saints just absolutely dominated. So V2X will be looking to get an early lead if possible, because you don't want to be in your second round. It's actually going to be series point for Twisted Saints. You don't want to be going against series point on the back foot. So V2X will be doing their best to have a solid defense moving forward. I think they're defending. Might need to double check. I didn't actually screenshot the map picks, so if my memory serves me correct, they're open defending. We will find out any second when we move through to the agent picks. We spoke about agents before the break a little bit. Things might not change too much moving forward. If we do see a chamber, which we'd love to, going to be interesting to see who picks that one up. Because of course, chamber is of course a sentinel, but very different gameplay to like Cypher.
No, it's very different to see how it's doing. But of course, how did we get here? We're watching V2X and Twisted Saints kind of come through at the moment now. Twisted Saints up, just kind of on 1 point there. So it is 1-0 to Twisted Saints, and I think the agent maps or the agent picks are basically ready to go. There's no map ban or anything that is happening. So for anyone that missed it, we did just have Sunset. Then we're going on to Lotus, and finally, if the teams are permitting, we move on to Bind for the finale, which will be a phenomenal, which I think is a really good best of 3 series, just in terms of what the maps can do. The agent flexibility, we've talked about the level of Sunset, the level that Lotus can have. Does sound like we are just going to be getting into the game now. So agent select going to be showing up any minute, and for Lotus is probably, I'd say, the most kind of diverse roster that you can run, and here we go. We're now going to be seeing it as V2X on that defensive side, Twisted Saints starting us off on the attack. What do they go for?
It does look like Fix is going to go over to Chamber, which is interesting to see. Like I said, it's definitely a Sentinel role. You got a similar job, but very, very different gameplay style. Sometimes Reyna players are the top picks for moving over to the Chamber because it is all about that aim. You've got that headhunter, and of course, then the Tour de Force comes out with your ultimate, saving a lot of money in the economy when it comes out. Kota Hawk switching over to Omen, who was actually playing Cypher last round, so that's pretty interesting to see. SMB going over to Viper from Astra. Viper is a little bit more of a meta pick for Lotus. You do see Astra sometimes, and it can be very viable to hold people back from the retake. And Cookie going to be going back over to Omen. Jibui is actually switching out from Breach possibly to Fade, so there actually has been quite a bit of switch up, and although Sky has been recently nerfed alongside KJ, we are seeing them on the board.
Meanwhile, the two kind of not to obviously put anyone else down. Everyone's been phenomenal, but the two kind of stars of V2X and Twisted Saints, they're right back as Bigfoot predicted, as you had predicted, boss. We're right back to the raised diff off as now the lock-ins are happening again. Not exactly a not exactly a mirror match, which is really cool to see both from V2X and Twisted Saints. We're getting flashbacked again, ladies and gentlemen. It's phenomenal. I love it. But again, both times we didn't see mirror matches. So on the Sunset, there was Astra versus the Omen for the difference of pick. Fade versus the Breach for the difference of pick. Or Fade, Gecko as well. One team member had versus no team have, or versus the other team not having the Gecko. So again, we are seeing quite a diverse roster, which is really phenomenal. It's really a testament to where Valorant currently stands, that even if people, you know, even if the map pool has had some of its criticisms, that it is allowing what is by far the most diverse range of agents to flourish and kind of find their own time. And even as we were saying, despite Sky's heavy nerfs, Twisted Saints still picking her up for the attacking side, and Thalzel now dropping off of the Breach and jumping onto the Killjoy, because Killjoy, even with the you know what, I'm committing to it, it is 45 degrees. That's what the turret sees. It's not 100 degrees. I didn't get it wrong. I didn't get it wrong. Everyone else is wrong.
Bro,
Everyone else
like
is stupid
45
except
degrees.
me.
It may as well be 45 degrees, mate. After going down from 180, it was so nice and had so much versatility, and now you've got to use it a little bit more specifically. But that is what Riot tend to do with their nerfs, is make things so you need to use more intent, if that makes sense. So like the Sky Flash not recharging, you need to have more intent and thinking about when you use it.
Can't even
the turret can't just be sent forwards to cover an entire area. You need to be thinking about exactly which funnel it is covering. And here we have the early A push. Vic's going to get 2 body shots in with the Sheriff, but TP out. The one-way has landed, so A is not going to be pushable for Twisted Saints so far. A little bit of damage done backwards and forwards, but still 5 players standing in this pistol round. 2 players for V2X anchoring on A. Alarm bot is going to get a bit of info there as the poison orb comes out. Really, really good setup here from V2X so far. We did say that they need to get early on the board, early advantage, if they want to stop Twisted Saints running away with this. And so far, so good, but don't want to speak too soon, because still 5 players standing on both teams.
No, of course, and here we go now, the jump through, and what we are seeing there from UX coming through is there's no Cypher trips anymore to kind of stop. Immediately though, Chiniru actually finding Cookie on that mid lurk there, phenomenal as now the rotate comes through. The control is going to be there for Twisted Saints, but look at this health, look at the fact that there's no heal from Sec there to try and kind of bail this out. A lot of these people are going to be sitting there on that smaller health pool, Twisted Saints at least. Once the heal available for them, they're not committed to the health pools like V2X are, but that's not going to matter when Thalzel's falling onto you. It may though, actually, is Kodahawk with the right clicks, bailing V2X out as Fix now though, fighting for his life in the smoke. The knife is being pulled out, he moonwalks through the smoke. SNB with the knowledge to jump off the spike and put him down though. Birthing a wise mystical tree. V2X very first round on the board. We said we needed it, and they have taken it by force.
Yeah, I don't know if Fix could have done that first half of that round with the Sheriff, but had it been a classic at the last minute, it might have been a little bit more possible in that chaotic moment. Those right clicks might have just saved the day, but early on the Sheriff was doing great work for Fix. Will actually be a Sheriff on board again, moving into the second round, so keen to do some damage. And of course, the Headhunter has been made a little bit more expensive recently, so opting for having 30 bullets instead of a limited amount is an interesting take. Often worth it for that 800 to get the full 30 bullets in the stack. Here we have the satchels moving forward, and the util combination is actually going to fail. Thalzel gets 2 turret kills, which is something we don't often see. 1 is good enough, but 2 is something special. Twisted Saints only have 2 players standing now after being embarrassed by the turret. What are they going to do?
I don't know, but there's fireworks going off outside my flat, so someone in my area is clearly cheering for V2X, and they're currently celebrating for them. Maybe a bit early. It is only one round in, but you know what? If you're going to have faith, you might as well have complete faith. As Tausel bringing it in with a 3k, a classic, and 2 turret kills to bring him up to pretty close to having the lockdown already online, already halfway through to it. The lockdown now 9 ultimate points along with the Viper's Pit. Incredibly expensive. You are very unlikely to see 2 lockdowns and a half anymore. 3 is, I think, basically you've already won if you would see 3 lockdowns from the side of V2X and a half. I think you've basically already wrote the story and closed the book, as now Cookie and everything coming through. The Satchels, yet they're not going to be caught out by the paint shells. Kodahook now trying to get one. Chiniru actually sidestepping the paranoia, has complete faith in their abilities and will take down Cookie because of it. A very aggressive push from Twisted Saints, immediately shut down.
Yeah, I mean, the strat was there. TP from Cookie behind Rubble was looking really, really nice, but so was the paranoia, to be honest. It just didn't all come together. There was just a really, really nice counter push from V2X, and this fight for A at the start of a round is something we often see on Sunset, and it's so much like so many micro details involved with it. Zach there getting 2 really important kills, make it 3. It's not going to be 4 as Kotahock trades out, but that might be what secures the round for Twisted Saints.
No, 100%. I mean, Jabuino getting the plant down, the fade. I don't think there's too much util for them, Kotahock. I mean, Bigfoot, I know you're loving this. You know why I see, Bigfoot, this is you. It's Kotahock, take it away.
Yeah, well, we do see 2 fake TPs trying to throw Jabui and Ko off, but I don't think it's going to be enough. There is actually only one place that Kotahock can be coming from, and yeah, it will be an easy shot there from Fix. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to make a little bit of noise, but if you've got both angles watched, there is actually going to be no confusion. There is literally just a couple places you can be coming from, and that noise doesn't do much. But worth a try, you know, realistically, there was only one option there, and it was walk on a site and click heads. Unfortunately, wasn't
oh, it's so
really
easy
doable.
when you say it like that. Oh, that's where I'm going wrong.
It's
that's
simple,
where
but
I'm
not
going wrong
easy,
in
is
my
it? But
game.
really, really happy we're going to see another fight for A. Let's see if TSE can get on top of this one. Fix will make this early push though, but it might be good if Fix was over with this squad, taking this early space, and it's going to be Snace with one, Chinero with another. A has been dominated yet again by V2X.
That's the thing, and you did say it's so common to see it, and it's another thing that is actually very interesting with Twisted Saints and V2X both doing that A fight. That's a gorgeous shot from Fix, though, at the very least. But going back to what I was saying, you're not seeing any Cypher util on C. It's a lot easier to get onto C because we see where the alarm bot is. The nade's basically there as well from Thousel. It's always in the same spot. So V2X, even though like they are being pretty obvious with where they're kind of positioning their utility, if you're playing off this level, which they very much are, it doesn't matter as the Knight falls on top of Twisted Saints, and this round will go into history books as the sun now rises on round 4.
Yeah, gonna be a 3-1 here for V2X. They're doing the job, and you know, I was in the map pick area. I was talking a little bit about how Lotus used to be a little bit of an attacking side as map, but really now it just comes down to who's got the strats as to what side of map it is, and who could take that A space. And realistically, if I was Twisted Saints, I would just be avoiding A for now. Maybe come back to it later, but so far that's 2 or 3 rounds in a row where you haven't managed to take the space, and it's been suicidal to do so. Marching onto B is a possible strat, but of course the defend against the B retake is an absolute nightmare. There is 4 angles, 4 entrances to that site that you've got to cover. And though the update has made it a little bit easier to do so, just a tiny bit easier to hold, still 4 angles in the retake, you can be absolutely surrounded. So C might be the option for them if they're going to do anything. Or all 5 of them pushing on A maybe. But right now, with only 4 players remaining, it's going to be 3 towards C as they back off, go through the door. All that information has obviously been handed over to V2X as they hear that sound. 3 players on B now. It's going to be another really hard site to take. V2X are just moving around on the defensive site, holding anywhere the Twisted Saints might try and get an entrance. And it's all over again. 4-1 to V2X.
I don't know what happened there. I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm glad we watched Chineru's perspective there, because Chineru was caught between 3 paranoias about 8 different pieces of utility. The absolute fear that must have been going through their head. They do still manage to walk away, of course, V2X taking that, but that was a very scrappy round. TSE not with the not really having the guns or anything to do it with now. That's all going to change as now Ultimate's starting to come online, but this is not the TSE that we've seen in Sunset. Not even close. Now, it may just be, to be fair to them, V2X have been doing beautiful retakes, and Lotus, most sites are actually quite difficult to hold unless you've got a very post-plant based team comp, which, to be honest, Twisted Saints don't really have. There's not much here. There's no Astra. There's no Killjoy of their own. There's not much in the way of, once we've got the spike down, V2X have to do, very much. V2X just have to try and get back onto site, essentially, and win their gunfights. The only thing that really you could maybe have is, I guess, a Prowler or maybe the Skydog available on TSE, or a Flash left over. Other than that, once that spike goes down, if you're V2X, you're pretty confident you're only against about 30% of TSE's util.
Bot coming back.
There's some pings going down on A again. It looks like they're watching out for Rubble, so I would love to see Cookie go up against Snace for this Rubble area. Sometimes you see a Ray satchel up there, and sometimes you see an Omen TP up there. It'd be interesting to see them both do it at the same time, but right now it's the one way going to hold them back. The aggression for Ray is going to be a little bit slower than normal, and it's all on Snace. If this smoke drops and they get out of here... Oh, smoke going to push Snace back. Will be caught by the Haunt. Still, all 5 players standing, so a very, very different setup here. The door's been taken down. A couple players playing off B. The fight for A so far has been taken by Twisted Saints, but not because of kills, just because of util space taken.
Yeah, now here we go. We are seeing the path on the tree being taken over by TSE. And it looks like the Seeker's coming out. The Nightfall, it's going to come out. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of control now. They are just walking on the site. Twisted Saints know exactly what to do. Oh, Kodahawk not particularly ready for Cookie with the util there. Doesn't matter though, because he is faster with an absolutely beautiful shot onto it as the spike now down. V2X though with 2 ultimates there from the shadows, not too impactful, but that lockdown, particularly with Sec going down, likely going to be massive as SMB picks up another one, and now it has to be Jabui. It's a 4 versus 2. The Viper's Molly's going to come down, finds SMB through the timing. Fix has to walk away though, but Thousel's just going to stick this, and unfortunately for him, unless Fix is really fast, he's not going to be enough. As the last person to tell the tale is Snace, and his history is written both by the victors and the survivors, and Snace was both.
I mean, the Saints do actually manage to get the spike down on A, which is a move forward in their strats, but unfortunately they couldn't handle the retake. There was kill before the lockdown even finished. There was a good couple of kills being absolutely crucial from V2X, and then once that lockdown popped, of course Fix had to be standing on the outside, so the stick was just easy enough. 3 players on the spike. 2 of them did fall by the end of the round.
You want to play? Let's play.
Early tour de force, it's going to work out for Fix there, but now rotating away from A, really, really nice. Love to see that. Getting that early pick and rearranging around the map. Peeking into B. B is a lot easier to hold if you've got the man advantage when they retry and retake. Stinger going to knock down a little bit there, but it would actually be good to see Cookie keep... Oh no, see this util setup. V2X are just working the util so well, but right now Fix with the firepower. I think an A push would be really nice here, but there is actually 3 players hovering right onto B. The dog cleared most of it out. There's been maybe a bit of an illusion there. They don't get to clear out Link, so I don't know for sure if someone's in Link or not.
No, they don't have that information, but what they do have, I mean, TSE weren't working with too many guns here. It does look like, obviously, we've got Cookie with the Vandal, but we are seeing, like, a Stinger, or a Stinger add a Sheriff online for the side of TSE. That tour de force has absolutely just done work for it, so it's all going to come down to Kodahawk here. Can he get the timing on the Cookie? The Killjoy util is going to come through and actually force Kodahawk to swing. able to take out Sec, but Cookie then immediately with the read and with the immediate refrag, and now Link also controlled, as it is just going to be Talzal and the last remaining of SMB from V2X is TSE with 2 ultimates ready to be used, 1 already online, and the guns now firmly in their hands, same with the positional advantage. It really doesn't seem like if you're V2X you can do anything here other than maybe protect your guns for the upcoming round. Who knows?
I'm interested to see if they're going to do anything.
Last player standing.
Nice. With From the Shadows, because they've got so much off the back of that tour de force. I really think they could get something interesting with a bait and rotate with From the Shadows, getting up to maybe 5-3 in the next round if they play this good. But 5-2, pretty comfortable to move forward. From, if they can catalyze it, there is a showstopper, there is a From the Shadows. From the showstopper could be used to maybe bait one site. Cookie nearly had the spike, but of course the spike's left down anyway. Cookie can work their way on the side. There's a lot of different things you can do with From the Shadows, of course. Not too many different things you can do with showstopper, but it is very useful in what it does do, pushing players back or getting those kills. I don't like to see it wasted to push players back. I mean, some people say, oh, it's a free site. I'd rather see it be a free 2 or free kills myself than a free site. But, you know, that's just where the action's at, of course. When you're down bad on the scoreboard, I think you'd take a spike down for a couple of kills. But yeah, here we have it. It's going to open up the site, like we said. It's going to go into the side there, not do any damage. But like we said, the site is completely secured. From the Shadows will just stay on the board. It might be used for a flank, but probably just safe for the next round.
At this point, I think the thing that From the Shadows does better than actually probably a lot of ultimates is the sudden ability to take a very random amount of space. But if you're TSE at this point, you don't really need to take it. Yuki playing off the flash is beautiful. The showstopper's what?
Player standing.
No way! Seg and Yuki have absolutely... That was a magic trick. Would you like to see V2X disappear, ladies and gentlemen? Because that is exactly what you have just witnessed. An ultimate down the Reyna as well. You could not have timed that more beautifully. It doesn't matter what Kodahawk here is trying to do. He's just trying to make sure that TSE go down to the bomb. It's something at least. Oh my days. That was an phenomenal play from Yuki and Seg. I can't even believe what I just witnessed there. If you are V2X, your mental is suddenly questioned. What the hell?
Really, really good comms, or at least just instinct there to push off the back of that flash and get that triple kill. You know, some people might have just kept holding the angle and treat the flashes a bit of util to hold them back, but knowing that it was time to make that peak, it really did pay off. The offlane is now doing what the Tour de trying to do what the Tour de Force did a couple of rounds ago, but the grenade sent straight back. Fix is actually going to be taken down there. Why would you walk into a one-way with an operator in hand? I don't have the answer to that question, but you do see the answer to the question, what happens when you do. You get taken out and you lose a lot of credits in doing so. Now, of course, the Viper's Pit on C is going to stop the C push as well, so the options are starting to slim extremely fast for Twisted Saints. They managed to get 2 rounds on the board, but getting a 3rd in a row is looking trickier and trickier as time goes by.
SMB as well. That's so cocky to sit in your Viper's Pit that close. If SMB had went down, that was massive for Twisted Saints, but instead now completely lose out. Sny's actually pushing up and taking that off. Not only answering the question, what happens when you walk into the one-way with an off, but following it up with getting your head taken off by Seg. Excuse me as I shut my mouth, Mr. Commentator, because Chineru has just tried to make something happen. Jabui now 3 versus 1. If you can make this work with Kodahawk just on that box, absolutely vibing, waiting for the remainder of V2X, there is no way, surely, no way in hell as Jabui falls to Kodahawk. Her thing as now 6-3. I don't. Yeah, it was a really interesting decision. We had seen TSE kind of fall back on the aggressive push on A, or sorry, we had seen a V2X kind of fall back on that. So maybe Fix was playing off of that kind of assumption that there'd be enough protection, that there'd be enough fear and enough respect from V2X, but Snice absolutely proving him wrong and stealing the operator away from him. Ended up just kind of sealing the deal for TSE, as now we are moving. We're already under round 10. It does feel like these rounds have been really, really fast-paced. There's been very little patience, very little in the form of slowing it down or keeping it slow. We're just here for the action, it does seem.
Yeah, this one way does such a good job of slowing down the action every round on A, but 4 players in the lobby are going to make a move any second. Sometimes you see that one-way refresh. Yep, it will be refreshed. Over on C, maybe going to get a pick there. I mean, you'd hope so. But the push has come through the one-way now, using a bit of util to gain that space. Does look like the door's going to go down as they make the push through tree. Spike could actually go down on A. Let's see if they can do any more of a better job holding it down this time. That would have been an extremely useful kill, but the shot spray just over the head. Exec going to make this push.
Face your fear!
Nero, Sky Flash might help, but just actually not quite enough there to follow up with the bullets.
See, that's scary, and now the Nightfall, which was kind of the big thing TSE would have used to kind of keep this, to kind of keep V2X off of the post plant. It's been used, and now we see it fall down from V2X, though Talzel going down, maybe Sek doing enough. Kodahawk, though, finding Sek. Jabui, though, immediately the fight on A has basically been cleared out. It comes down to Kodahawk. Can he do it? He's got one. Cookie needs to fall. He does, as Chiniru is now trying to hold that defuse. Yuki, though, going to find him. It's not been stuck. It doesn't matter, though, as Kodahawk coming in. Kodahawk 3, but 4 on the board, and the defuse. Beautifully played from Kodahawk there.
Kodahawk, of course, was already the kill leader, so that's just going to be looking very nice. Let's take a little look at this board here. Up to 16 kills now. Double fix. 3 times Jabui, 4 times Yuki, and 8 times Cookie's kill count.
Oh my day, that's some quick math for you ladies and gentlemen there. God damn, Kodahawk is absolutely running away with it. And I mean, pretty deservedly so. He's been just on fire with his positions. He's known when to push, he's known when to play reserved, and speaking of knowing when to push, it's happening again.
This one way has done so much for them. I'm so surprised to see Twisted Saints even bothering with A.
Yeah. Particularly with there's not too much C control. They know where the alarm bot is. They know where the swarm nade is. Like, it's only SMP on C.
You know, and you could storm B for the pick, but like I said, B retake's horrible. You could storm B for the pick, rotate to C away from that util through spawn. Like, there's so many strats here that could come out, but dedicating players to A is just not the look. It just... I mean, and the only 2 times it has really worked and they managed to buy that space, they haven't managed to keep the spike down. So A's just not been where it's at, and I would like to see a lot more focus on util in different sites. As we do talk about that, it does seem like they're moving over to C, but of course, being later into the round, there's 2 angles here now. Fix doesn't get 1, Talzel gets 1, SMB gets 1. Fix does trade out again, so it is equal and they are on site. Spike will be able to go down. It'll be a retake scenario for V2X now.
And that's the thing, like, look what happened there. Like, TSE finally walked, like, they only had to work around a swarm nade and the alarm bot. You know, on B site as well, you were saying, Bigfoot, they only had to work around the Killjoy turret and one swarm grenade. You know, there's not a lot of utility there that is kind of keeping V2X safe if TSE just decide to push anything that isn't A. And we're seeing it really work out for them this time, unless
Snace can do this, man.
Unless...
Snace is going to get this kill as well. Alright, I'll take that back, but if Snace kept peeking, that would have been 1 more kill for Snace. Cookie hot on the tail. Now Snace is surrounded. He can't actually pick them apart 1 by 1, missing the chance by backing off from that peak. I do believe if Snace took down Cookie there with just peeking an extra centimeter to the right, it could have gone towards Snace's side, but yeah, V2X 7 on the board, looking pretty comfortable moving into the next round. But right, this is it. This is the last round, and they're actually seriously considering A, which is fascinating to me. And this V2X, I mean, I think it might be a matter of pride we're dealing here, mate. They want to be able to get the kills on A.
We will win. We will win on A. If we get 1 round, we'll consider. The TSE are aware that winning.
Shorty. Sorry, TSE are aware.
TSE are just aware that they should be aware that they should be aware that winning one round on A does not mean they win the game, but they do not seem to be aware of that fact. They seem to think that if they get one A site when they're doing it, Snice coming through. Doesn't find anyone though, but SMB picking up Fix basically guarantees that C site is now safe. And look at this control that V2X are now trying to take because they've realized how safe it is. Oh, Shinero.
7-5 would have been so comfortable for Twisted Saints. 8-4 is not the end of the world, but it has kind of fallen apart. Actually, one player dropped on B, one player dropped on C, and there was a trade on A. But yeah, Twisted Saints, 2 players standing. Spike will go down. It is possible, but there's going to be a double peek here, I think. They come in one by one. Yeah. Boombot.
Last player standing.
Oh, so close, but SMB with a clutch kill there. Spike is planted a lot closer to the tree this time, so it is a little bit easier for one person to hold. Spray through the smoke there. Exec actually going to get traded out as SMB peak, so it will be 8-4 for this half for V2X. And now with Twisted Saints defending, it's going to be interesting to see if their obsession with A is going to persist.
5-man hold on A. We don't care about
Switching
anywhere.
sides.
Maybe, mate. I mean, it's
Surrounded by
completely unnecessary, but it might go down. Of course, you've got so much util with Viper and Killjoy when V2X were defending. It's slightly different for Twisted Saints. They've just got chamber util for that, so there's a lot less map control with the util. So they're going to actually have a harder time to do so, to defend like that. I do think the double controller from V2X worked out really well, and the single controller from Twisted Saints is going to be a little bit tricky to defend with.
No, it really is. And again, like, look what V2X have to work with on the post plant. They have the Snatch, they have the Viper's Molly, they have the Killjoy Nano Swarm and the Alarm Bot if they need it. They've got so much. Again, you did mention it for the map control as well. They've got the Alarm Bot to keep the flank safe. They've got so much utility here for them. TSE really don't have too much to work with other than just pure gunplay. And now that might be enough, but to be honest, the way V2X have been using their utility, it's going to be a hell of an uphill battle for TSE. I do want to very quickly just go back to the previous round again, just for how it was, which I was surprised Yuki decided to not plant the bomb and get the showstopper himself. Speaking of planting the bomb, you may as well cause it to drop. It's nice trying to get one, but Jibwe picking up the remainder for it. Thousand, though, beautiful shots, is going to have to do a little bit more if he wants to try, because that spike is now dropped in sand. And that door, I think, being quite a strong metaphor for V2X's chances at this round, shutting in their faces.
Yeah, and was a little bit concerned for what the defensive strat would be for Twisted Saints moving forward, but looks like this comp does have lineups. They had a really good flash into sand there with Sky over the rooftop there. Definitely played off the back of really well, securing those kills. V2X now have a SMB on full health, but Talzal on 11 HP, so gonna have to catch someone off guard if they want to get this kill. Fix camping on the other side of the wall. Oh, Talzal is gonna fall down, but this flank from SMB could be crucial. It's gonna be one kill. I don't think the spike's gonna get picked up in time. Maybe, no. Could be another kill, but yet Fix is gonna get that headshot, and Twisted Saints get back on the board, closing the gap a little bit. But in this save round, V2X might not have too big a chance of getting anything on the board, but when they get their guns and when they start playing with their double controller, they're going to be able to dominate a lot more space and control a lot more space than Twisted Saints can on defense, so it's all going to be a matter of what they can do with the util that they do have.
And what we're not seeing an immediate inclination towards A from V2X. Looks like a bit more of an inclination towards B, which again, you were saying, Bigfoot, about like the kind of the control that TSE were struggling with on attack. V2X don't really go against that. They only have a trademark to break, and it's usually pretty consistent at where that's going to be. It's nice. Looks like he is going to get caught by it though. Yeah, that's actually going to slow down quite a bit of this push to maybe make TSE slightly more favored on the defense, but no, V2X have completely walked through anyway. No plant though, and actually we do see the spike rotating out. The level of control V2X have is very straight. Never mind it.
Oh, Snaze and Cohawk were in some very awkward positions, but there was not a bar for Cookie, and just going to crumble in the bits. 2 of those kills go down, and it's going to be pretty easy moving forward. Twisted Saints, all players on board. Talzal got a Sheriff, needs a headshot to do anything special right now, but up against these automatic weapons, as well as Chinero holding the Classic. It's going to be very difficult to get anything on the board, but it's going to be possible to maybe even just get the plant down, and that might be the best they can hope for.
I think it kind of is. Get the 400, get the credits kind of going for everyone. Get the little credit bonus for it. They are going to find it. That's 300 across the board, 1500 for the team entirely. It's Cookie though. He's on for an ego ace. He wants that. Yuki going to take it from him as Thousal does go down to Sek, and that will be a very comfortable defuse. Not a single gun lost for TSE, and they are playing this now a little bit, making sure that Yuki, we've seen Yuki stop shows multiple times, and very much you want to give him the ability to do it even more. That is what I was saying, kind of jumping back to the last round before the side swap there, actually, when V2X were defending. Yuki and who was it? It was the Sky, I believe. Was coming through, and yeah, it was Sek exactly was who. But Sek was the one who planted the spike. But if Yuki was the one given the spike, Yuki would have had the showstopper at the end of the round, and that's such a minor point to make. But showstopper against like an upcoming lockdown and things like that, you know, could have really turned the tide for Twisted. Speaking of turning the tide.
What a read on the nade. The nade was thrown behind Rumble instead of being thrown on the doorway. They read the push onto A. They knew they'd have guns. They knew the V2X are absolutely obsessed with A main.
That was genius.
The read. Mystic Meg is in the lobby. Love
Mystic
to see
Meg
it.
That was mental. The fascination with A main does not end here, ladies and gentlemen. It will continue until someone is dead, whether it's Twisted Saints or V2X. Oh.
You know, because had that nade been thrown on the doorway, it would have been a completely different duel.
Yeah, exactly. It was so smartly read. It really was. And now everything does kind of calm down. But this fight, the fight for A. There's nothing really used though from the side of V2X to kind of, there's no like Killjoy util to kind of anti-flank. TSE haven't really been doing much flanking, so it makes sense. The turret is in the backline there, but everything else now being set up for the post plant, and this is what I was talking about. It's very difficult for TSE to do much here unless it's just purely when the gun fights.
Yeah, of course, that Viper will control so much space, but it does have a timer on it. Oh my days, just as Cookie wants to send out a smoke, Talzal rolls bangs them in the head. Chinero gets fixed in the head too, but meanwhile, Djibouti and Exec are going to trade out, so still a 2v2, equals on each side.
One enemy remaining.
Djibouti is right on the spike though. Smoke out. And there we have it. Exec going to get a beautiful kill on the Cohawk to save the day. Exec also going to defuse, maybe get the Seekers on board. We'll see in a second when we get round to the next buy round. But beautiful retake there from Twisted Saints. I think the fact that Viper was running out of poison really, really helped that retake. If that ward had been up an extra 10 seconds, it could have been a different story. But it worked out quite well for them in the end.
No, as now TSE are coming back, and again, like, just in case anyone did miss it, TSE are already up 1. TSE only need 1 more, and then they send V2X home. V2X really now do have to try, you know, and keep this momentum from spiraling out. We see again the showstopper online from UX gonna be likely, I imagine, used to kind of anti-push. But look at this obsession with Amy, and it's actually not even going to be met this time. Instead, it's Fix pushing up from onto Mound with the help of the fade from the side of TSE, and instead, it's gonna be a push just onto this B site, and it's a hell of a start.
Okay, so this is going to be the first full like 5v4 B-site retake we've seen so far, but B-site is an advantage as the retakers, so it quickly turns into 4v4 and then 3v3, so still backwards and forwards. V2X doing great considering they haven't got a full arsenal of weapons here, but they've been pushed back into main, and if the diffuse stop, there comes a swarm grenade. So that's actually going to hold the diffuse back a little bit longer. Really, really good shots. Yuki does take down Cohawk, but a headshot from SMB and a body shot going to take down Exec. Now Djibouti's got so much work to do with a player on each side, and that spike is just taken away.
SNB, here comes the showstopper was used from UX. The party was advertised that it was on its way, and SNB was the party that was on its way. When UX said here comes the party, he did not mean SNB showing up when he needed to. What the hell did he just do? Let's recap that. That was a shot through Sec to kill Cookie. That was a headshot onto Yugi to stop the showstopper. That was then a follow-up double kill to take a 4K, which should not have been winnable. SNB's been doing pretty damn solid the rest of this game. The rest of this series, but he very much just came online there.
Yeah, and sometimes just that singular rounds like that can turn an entire series around, and sometimes people get a little bit beefy about who's got the most, who's got the least kills, you know, but it's not always about kills, it's about effective rounds like that, and switching the storyline around, making sure you can get that momentum back on board with the economy can be what really wins a series for you, and SMB has just provided an excellent pivot for V2X moving forward, but they need to continue it. They need to regain this lead that they had some rounds ago. And if they can get on the double digits here, it looks like they probably can. It's going to be pretty comfortable. But that Viper's Pit is not even touching the spike. It's an interesting one.
We are seeing a lot of TSE kind of go down because of it. Sec somehow living quite a lot longer than he should have. This Viper's Pit is a very interesting position. Towsel though playing on it pretty well and actually not using it to rotate around. Do they know where Towsel is? They don't seem to as Spikes goes down, but it's a 1 versus 3. The HP though, super on Towsel's favor. The guns, super equal though, as Towsel is going to be able, when all seemed lost, walk through the Viper's Pit, completely bamboozle TSE, and even though goes down to the spike, that's incredible play from SMB and Towsel. And again, that was such an interesting Viper's Pit.
Yeah, Cookie managed to take Viper out through the pit. SMB and another player as well. Those 2 players with the Sheriff into the pit, so could have really been thrown there, like dominated. I would say thrown, but stolen actually by Cookie.
Daylight robbery by Cookie there.
Of course, Towsel with the 4K, securing the round yet again. Double digits on the board now for V2X. Excellent early pick there from Fix though. Hopefully going to pivot this round a little bit towards Twisted Saints, but V2X are so comfortable. Even if they do lose this round, their economy's looking good. They're already on double digits. Only 3 rounds away from winning this match and making the 3rd map be a dream, be a reality as we hopefully go forward to Bind, but Twisted Saints really want to try and stop that happening right now.
And again, just like even the lockdown is now gone for V2X, that does mean that there's like any C push is basically dead in the water at this point. You do usually like to put the lockdown right in the corner, just before you kind of go through the arch. It does mean that most of C gets cleared out. Waterfall's basically entirely safe. The only thing I think is the complete back corner of Hall that you need to worry about, but with of course the V2X missing their Killjoy, it's a lot harder to do any sort of lockdown related plays when they're not present in the round. So now it is coming down to the decision making. What do they want to do here? Snice just tapping the door there to try and give himself some space. Is he going to try and sneak in, or is he going to stay? Does look like, yeah, he's going to stay and Mount tapping the door now again as the push comes through. The showstopper from him now. Not going to find anyone though. Basically not. Instead, Yugi! Instead, Yugi finding him! What? That wasn't meant to happen. Coda Hawk, the move. But does he know what he's done?
Hawk and Cookie walking past each other, and there we have it. Cookie's going to get the kill. The Omen Lurk gets countered with the Omen. The showstopper gets countered with the paint shells, and Yuki's just going to keep on getting those kills on the board. Twisted Saints going to not let V2X make it to 11. And, only 2 more rounds for them to equalize. With a flawless round, their economy is going to be looking extremely nice moving forward. I am going to call an A apocalypse right now. This is what I'm calling. Let's see if it happens. But I feel like V2X, you know, when anything fails, just go back to A.
Just go away. Just go away. Go to our safe space. Go to our safe space. They can't hurt us on A. It does feel like that, and That was insane. The lurks being countered there from Kodahawk and Cookie. The amount of mental there, and it does seem like V2X are very much the ones hiding in a TSE, more split out actually towards that B and C side. The only person there, never mind when Thousel's going down. The only person actually keeping A safe right now is Jabui, and with that pick onto, again, no lockdown present because we've lost it so quick. What can V2X really do anymore? They've got a lot of utility online, but you want to keep this for when you've got the guns, because if they start burning all this utility now, they may not have a full buy going into what's likely going to be a 10-9 round split.
Well, they're going to get the spike down. It's going to be a matter of whether they can defend against a 5-man retake. Fix there, getting an extra one. SMB does manage to pull out the Sheriff shot, or what is again getting a headshot, but Cookie's just too fast with the Vandal. Paranoia goes on the site.
One enemy remaining.
Oh my days. There we have it. It will be 10-9.
And Cookie prepping the Paranoia there. I was so ready, and then all of a sudden the first kill to pop up in the kill feed was actually Kodahawk with a beautiful shot there of the Sheriff. Don't know if that was a little bit of a Hail Mary. Don't know if it was a bit too far pushed up from TSE there that did give him the visibility. But either way, it wasn't the first one, but it wasn't going to even be close to enough. And now 3 ultimates on the board for TSE. Their economy, as you rightly said, Bigfoot, going to be looking quite a bit stronger. Yuki with the op and everything, Fix with the op. Yuki ready to jump in with the showstopper now. We're back to a full start, ladies and gentlemen. We're back to round 1. Let's go.
Oh, excellent space taken here by Yuki. Of course, that audio cue might have given the game away, but with the Viper's wall down, they did hope to make a little bit of space, maybe moving onto the rock there, but they haven't even managed to do that. Grenade will come back, holding them back even further. Tousle finally getting an early pick in the 1v1. Of course, the lockdown is still on board, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it is. Yeah. I'm still on board because Tousle's lost a lot of early jewels so far. Lockdown will go down, going to secure this plant pretty easily. Exec might make their way into the corner, of course, could be vulnerable to a molly if they do so. Nope, going to walk out the back. Sensible choice.
And I do want to point out, Tousle beat the duel that he won. That was against the op as well, so that's massive. Snize as well, picking up 2. Yuki trying his best. Shiniru, though, I think very much. Never mind. It's Yuki. It's everything you could ever want in a clutch circumstance. He doesn't see the head of. He doesn't see the head of the Omen there. Instead, Tousle brings him down. He does bring Snice with him down at least. But at the end of the day, that's V2X up now 11-9. Unfortunately for the side of TSE, that was quite a bit of stuff burnt from them. Still the tour de force online. And again, from the shadows, if we can have something come from the shadows. Just once. It's all I want. It's all any of us want.
Yeah, it's nice to see when it really pays off, but the higher you go, really in like tiers, the less useful it becomes. I'm not sure why that is. I mean, I think because people tend to anchor quite a lot in higher tiers, but like having said that, I mean there hasn't been like too much anchoring from these teams. They seem to just rotate and dominate. Like when a site's chosen, it just seems to be where the fight is.
I think, yeah, exactly. And speaking of which site was chosen, of course it could only be one. As we do start to get into the last rounds, Cookie absolutely dropping Snice down. There is still a little bit of space trying to be made over by Tousle there on that B site, but not really going to find much, as he probably does want to see about trying to rotate around those SNB. That's an absolute beautiful. Smokes are now out of the way. Sec, though, with an immediate fire back. There's going to be no mollies now for the post-plant scenario. It's just going to be the Fade Haunts, which Shiniru is able to get one out of. Kodahawk with the refrag as well. But that is, again, a lot of utility down, as it is just going to be Tousle all the way over in that A site by the time the turret comes online. That was a very cinematic angle.
Yeah. Had Tousle been on site with a little bit of a util, maybe a molly on top of the box, it was a little bit closer, could have gone a different way. But now we have Twisted Saint making their way up to double digits, and if you have a look at the buy, looks like V2X are gonna have 1 hero, 2 hero rifles, mate. They can afford a third if they want yet. So initially it looked like maybe only 1, but I think it might be in their interest to just buy here and they're just changing their minds. I can't make up how I'm casting it. They can't make out what they're buying. But all in all, it's gonna actually go down to respect there.
If the casters don't know what's going on, how can TSE possibly know what's going on? But I think TSE do know what's going on.
No, what was that?
What?
Fix just descoped to throw the entire round. That could have been such an easy kill and a TP to safety, but instead Fix drops.
That was wacky. I have never been proven so wrong so fast.
Mate,
what the hell?
If V2X take this series now, you could call it on that pivot point. I think that is such a bad mistake to unscope there.
Viper's Pit as well now. The control firmly for V2X. Again, it does look like they maybe learned from the mistake. X-Segment with a beautiful swing. Nice though, just with the showstopper online. Ready to find Seg with it. Jabui trying to get one. Put it on. Beautiful shot onto Jabui. Finds another one onto Yuki. It shouldn't have been possible, but it was. And Towsel with the sheriff onto Cookie. As you said, Bigfoot, that should not have been anywhere near online for V2X. But that pivot point, yeah, TSE, you call that timeout and you think long and hard about the decisions that were made and how this round is coming up, because this is the timeline no one expected to be in. What the hell, Snay, was that?
Should have been 11-11, man. That was such
That's all you can say.
I mean,
that's all you can say.
I do feel bad saying this, but as casters, it's our job to call it, and that is one of the worst mistakes I've seen in a long time. It could have been accidental, it could, but like you can't really accidentally take. I can't explain it, man. I can't explain it.
Right, we've all done it, and here's the thing, right? No disrespect as well, because we've all done it. You're scoping in, and then you unscope because you're not sure of the swing. But the Fade Haunted came through. There was information that a C peak was happening, that someone was going to swing, and I don't know if it was nerves or if it was just, you know, that one tiny moment in time where everything just kind of either collapsed for Twisted Saints or V2X, particularly off the back of that swing from Snice. I mean, god damn. That's, by the way, that's 2 members of V2X, both Towsel and Snice, have swung on to Fakes, holding an op, and one-tapped him with a sheriff.
Yeah, now it's a Marshall and a Stinger where it could have been an off and a Vandal. Really uncomfortable position to be in on match point. Luckily not series point, so it can be brought back in bind. Maybe, you know, TSE just showboating, trying to keep us on the edge of the seats.
I hope that's what it is. I hope it's them just being so cocky, but the nightfall's going to fall on the B side. Fix is holding it. He's holding it. He held his ground. He doesn't want to. This is it. He has to make up for everything now. Fix really does, and I believe he can.
Yeah, no, I mean, good player all night. Just one major mistake can cost so much. Yes. The reveal going to be so crucial there to take down Cookie. The C is going to go out as well. Twisted Saints only have 2 players standing. Fix needs to clutch this out to redeem the squad, but maybe we'll see the clutches in bind come out. Towsel's on very low health though, so it could be it could be a really. This is it. Exec, gonna make the push. You gotta push. You gotta push. You've only got one choice here. Oh my days.
He doesn't hold.
Yes! The footsteps. Towsel with a mistake of their own. Push back. Expect. I mean, that's nowhere near as big as that. Expected to be pushed. Towsel very rightly stepped backwards. Then the tap came in, realizing there wasn't much time, had to run in with the knife, but of course taken down. So, are we going to go to overtime, buddy, or is this going to be a dominant takeover from V2X? It's their last chance to secure this. They actually don't have a full buy now. Expected to get that round themselves. They didn't have the economy to move forward, so we do see a Bulldog, we do see a Guardian and a Spectre. 2 half shields. This is actually Twisted Saints' chance to take this to overtime.
I do just want to point out as well, Sek's positioning though, he knew that jump peak was coming and he played it beautifully. Credit to him. Oh my days, how do you survive if you're in rubble? In this case, you survive by Snice, pulling that Guardian out and immediately creating some work. This is such a shaky buy from both teams. For the most part, it's happened. Chinneru's just done something that may have very well put Twisted Saints in a bind, ladies and gentlemen. Pardon the phrasing. It may have put TSE in a bind as the post-plant scenario with the Killjoy nades all down. Yuki though, with the showstopper as well. This is it. Snatch has to save Tausel. It won't! It won't! There's no post-plant anymore! Tausel was the show and he has been stopped as Sek falls. The paint shells go down, the flash comes out. Chinneru has to do this and Sek coming out clutch.
I love explosions.
Love it. Love to see it.
This is mental.
Over to overtime. This could go
Switching
either
sides.
way still.
Overtime.
Of course, Twisted Saints have one map on the board. They are going to look to take this quickly and swiftly, but the backwards and forwards has been so equal so far. This overtime could go on a very long time, but attackers calling a timeout into overtime, trying to get their strat solidified before this timer counts down. There's a minute on the board for the timeout, then 34 seconds left of the buy round. There's a lot to be done. A lot to talk about. That's 90 seconds to make a plan. So we're hopefully, and I'd expect to see a pretty solid strat on this attacking side.
I mean, to A we go. Back to A we go. It has to be. No, and yeah, I mean, we have seen TSE actually, you know, they were pretty confident on their attack as well, but V2X were probably more confident on their defense again, so much more on the side of them to actually play defensively posted here. So TSE I think just the way that this is came down, I do think this favors V2X. So TSE really do have to try and do something, and they've done it a fair bit, but they have to do it again.
It's either 5 or 0 people going A for Twisted Saints, and I think it's going to be 0. So this is actually a good shout. They know the obsession with A is real. They have to know by now that there's just so much defensive obsession with A when it comes to V2X. So trying to swarm C could be where the strat is, but there is of course a Viper and a Killjoy, which together is quite a difficult combination to push fast. So let's see how they do this. I mean, the setup has been the same so many rounds that they should know what they're dealing with.
Meanwhile, V2X, that triple push onto A, they're out swapping out, and that's the thing now, actually, the information there that TSE now have, they heard quite a bit of noise towards A, even just off of Jibui there, kind of holding back, so they do now know, but as you said, Bigfoot, basically, there's oh my god, they're pushing anyway, and SMB's indecision costs him his life. It doesn't matter though, because his indecision actually takes Zeg with him as well. I don't know when that was fired, but that was a hell of a decision. The paranoia comes through. Not going to be enough, but Chinneru gets it now. Still no spike down as Tausel actually. He puts it down, but not in the way TSE wanted. Oh, look at him go. Run! Run, TSE, run!
Every kill was traded until Tausel managed to get that headshot. So Tausel doing really good work here on the defensive side. But now Twisted Saints are making that rotation through to A, through spawn even, which is a very interesting route to take. So the spike is going to go down. Yuki is going to lurk in the middle of the map and has a lot of potential to do a lot of damage here. 2 players still on C, trying to make their way over, but they're going to be a little bit late. Moving together as a trio could mean a triple headshot from Yuki, to be honest. This is actually insane.
Oh no.
One. Only one. But the clock is ticking. Cookie has all the info they need and a paranoia in pocket.
Oh, he shoots it though. Chinneru trying to find him for shorty. Runs out. The delay! The delay from Tausel! Tausel!
And that's the way the cookie crumbles, mate. What an excellent clutch. Holding that smoke down and having the flick is really, really good to see. As an Omen player, it can be really hard to hold down 2 players leaving a smoke from 2 different angles, and technically you should be the one that dies, but Cookie was on top. V2X now, if they lose this game, they are out of the league. This is a crucial round for V2X. If they can win this game, they can continue the overtime, maybe securing this map and taking us to bind. They will still have a chance to be in this league. They will not get Saints out, but of course Twisted Saints. Early aggression onto A, aware of the obsession. It's going to be 5 players from V2X on A. The obsession is real, and it'll be a first early kill for SMB there. Prowler comes out. Jaburi going to have to retreat through to B alongside Cookie.
Losing Yuki as well, that's so much utility. A site basically empty as well. Don't know if V2X know that to quite the extent we do, but it looks like they'll be capitalizing off of it regardless. Does Towsel find Cookie, or are we going to have a repeat of last round? We are. Cookie just a bit faster on the draw. It's 4 versus 4. We've got the Chamber though in a massive lurk. Like he's really having to run through. Meanwhile, just that mid lurk as well. It's gonna be the fade. So there's so much that needs to be done. The smokes are now gonna come out. SMB gonna find Jabui. That's huge. Actually just drags Fix and Cookie up for Snice to bring it up as sec. The only person standing in the smoke and is greeted with a shorty from Shineru. I was so in bed. I completely forgot everyone's name. I forgot all the players' names. I'm really sorry, Chanira. I'm really sorry, Fick. I'm sorry to everyone because I got so stressed. I don't know how the players are doing it because I will be honest, Bigfoot. I'm shaking a bit.
Well, I mean, everything's on the line right now. If V2X lost that round, they'd be saying goodbye to the Reyna's league. So we do get to go at it one more time. And, let's see. It does look like Twisted Saints are going to fight for this A control. The grenade will hold them back to start with. There is a Horn, though. The Horn will be shot and get no info, but the Odin spray. Good tactic, good counter strat to bring that Odin to A site. Snaeus now caught between a lot of players and now stunned by the dog. Cookie will get the kill.
Oh, no. Oh, wow. The Sky Dog, it's been nerfed to oblivion, but I think there's not a better testament to how effective it can still be, as Zay's absolutely crushed now Cookie with this very long lurk onto the A site, as it does look like a very slow rotate from TSE all the way over. Maybe only the B site, a little bit more utility being cleared out there. The Prowler's actually coming out as well, trying to clear out the B close, and now Cookie, the time in there does get found out by the Haunt, deciding not to burn the smoke. There's a fair bit of utility for TSE here. Meanwhile, V2X losing not too much available for them, and of course, Yuki down already. So 35 seconds remaining. It's looking pretty comfortable for TSE to go into a post-plant scenario.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, with 30 seconds remaining, site fully under their control. Unfortunately, that paranoia is not going to catch anything, but it will give them a lot more space to off the back of it. 2 players look like they might be coming in from B, and 2 players coming in from Sands, but with this spike ticking, I would say they're not close enough.
They do have to go for... Oh, I like that smoke, though. I do like that smoke from Codehawk, because it does kind of... It's making Fix assume that maybe no one is coming from sand, and now we do see him playing towards, but that trademark's going to cover the back that they need. The spike's already ticked down pretty far, as you did say, as both the members from Waterfall fall from V2X, and that will probably be 14-13.
Oh, yeah. Codehawk, TPs, to his death inside the smoke. SMB does manage to take one, but with it being overtime, those kills don't mean anything. The economy resets every round, and what it's doing is getting you a slightly higher kill count by the end of the game, but yeah.
You dropped your open in the smoke here, have him back.
We're back in the same situation, though. V2X, if they can't secure this, they are out of the league. Twisted Saints going to again try and seal the deal. Last time,
Sorry, it's too much.
It is 1 player A this time, but we do have an early pick from Fix. I'm surprised that they haven't opted for a glass operator, but with what happened last time...
Oh. Surely haunted.
Info here. Fix has to get this kill, man. Has to get a redemption kill.
Oh, the one-way doesn't quite come down, though. That's actually big. That's quite strange now. That's actually convinced V2X to leave. Everyone here, considering how much is on the line. We're back down. We did it.
With the Odin, this could be so clutch. Having that spray down against a squad that is stacked up. Jaburi knows something's coming. Going to send one Prowler out. Is going to get the information that someone's pretty close. Odin is to his hand on backside. 2 players up in heaven. Jaburi going to make a retreat back to heaven, which is another excellent choice because that provides a much more powerful retake situation.
Careful.
Look at the
But,
split.
back to B, zigzagging around the map.
Dodges the paranoia there, Cookie just barely. Now Snee's going to be pushing up. Yes, Cookie times the jump perfectly and gets him down immediately now. 1 person up for the side of TSE. We do see now 2 of them going up through coming around to flank on Link and pincer maneuver SNB, and Jabui doesn't work out for them. SNB gets the swing on 1. Gets the molly now as well to try and protect Jabui, or Shiniru, sorry. Jabui sitting with the Odin, of course.
SMB is just so clutch in these situations, but there's so much to ask for right now. Is it going to be one more? It is. The peak onto Exec. There is a Viper's Pit online. And no! Couldn't make up their mind, and it is all over as Twisted Saints secure the final round. And oh my days, where Fix threw a round by going out of operator aim, it does look like SMB might have thrown the most crucial round by not being able to make their mind up whether to Viper's Pit or not. And this is why the muscle memory is such an important thing, but if you don't know what you're doing in such a clutch moment, it can get confusing. And yeah, that is it. We do actually say goodbye to V2X.
You know what though? It was a hell of a show they gave us. That was not by
they're
any
amazing.
means. That was not by any means. At no point did we know who was going to win. At no point could we have said there, could we have guaranteed who was taking that. I get like SMB. You've got to remember that he was on for the ace as well. Had that been either the Viper's Pit comes down or just the shot lands, that would have been phenomenal. I think I would have lost my voice.
Yeah, it was like you said. At any point tonight, we couldn't have called the result until the result was set. And yeah, if the gun was held, probably would have happened. If the Viper's Pit was dropped, probably would have happened to at least see one more overtime round. But of course, the confusion and the peak was just too easy for Exec in that situation. The spike was also halved, so it was just looking too nice to move forward. And unfortunately, we do say goodbye to V2X, but Twisted Saints are going to be very, very happy. They do get to move forward and take on their rivals, who I've forgotten the name. I do apologize. Team Prolific. So they'll be moving on to fight Team Prolific in the next round. V2X better luck in the next tournament, and we're gonna have a little look at the. Here we have it, the board. So
Brackets now as it stands. It's got to be sad not seeing V2X there anymore, because V2X really did do a hell of a fight. We did see them. I mean, they walked through 2-0, same with TSE, to really put each other on the line. I know TSE kind of came in as a bit more of the favourites. They are a bit more of the established kind of side. But I really hope, I mean, V2X at the very least, they've gained an extra fan in me just because that was just damn entertaining to watch. There was, again, a couple of really minor mistakes, but in the heat of the moment, when it's that stressful, when you're on that kind of double facing down a potential triple overtime, what can you do sometimes?
You got any picks for the MVP so far tonight?
I mean, no. Because, no, honestly, no. I mean, anytime you can think of SMB, you can think of UX, you can think of, his name escapes me now, Choke. I forget his name. Why is it gone from me now?
Kotahawk. It's a completely unique name. So
yeah, thank you, Kotahawk. We didn't really say his name too much there, kind of particularly at the ending parts of that last game. But Kotahawk very much there. Towsel, one of the 4 versus 1 clutch out of nowhere was insane. There's so much there. Yourself?
Yeah, I mean, it was a really, really even match. No one's really holding me at gunpoint to pick an MVP. So I just like to big up every single player on both teams because, it was just so even the whole night. Both raises were just absolutely killer. And, on a different night.
Vix had flicks as well. I mean, I'm just saying.
On a different night, like tomorrow, this could have gone the other way. Could have gone to VDX. The day after, it could have gone back to Twisted Saints, and the day after, it could have gone back to V2X again. Like they were really, really well even teams and really, really well even match players. We do actually have a call from the producer. Wants to call out Cookie from TSE, saying played very well in the last round. Yeah, there was some very good clutch moments from Cookie there. Really good omen. Nothing special from the shadows at any one point, which you do actually expect to see on a free site map sometimes. But they were barely even used, like, at all.
I don't think we
don't
heard
think
it
it was used
popped
once,
once.
yeah.
I don't think we heard it pop, and we had an omen at least at least one omen in both maps, and we didn't hear it pop once. So that's pretty rare, pretty rare and pretty uncommon, and maybe something real wacky could have been done with that. But again, you know, shoulda, woulda, coulda. There's so much that could have been done.
But it's been a pleasure. I hope to see you again in the Reyna's League. Of course, the competition will get thinned out moving forward, and it's only going to get more and more intense. If you caught the clips at the start of this stream, there is some insane players in this league, some really, really high immortal players by the looks of it. I would not be surprised if there was a few Radiants by what we saw in those clips. Yeah, it's a really, really good league. Hope we come back to it. Yeah, stay tuned, everybody. It's been a pleasure, Dante. Nice to see you again online. Hope to see you IRL again pretty soon. I've been Bigfoot, and this has been the Reyners.